We start our story in the middle of a beautiful spring day. A bustling city in a market that is way overcrowded. People are selling odds and ends, things that they've created, things that they've grown. But we don't find somebody at a booth purchasing anything. Instead, we find a child roaming for their next target. Kelly, please introduce your character.
Well, hello, my name's Crucible. I'm a small Katori, kind of like a patterned like a calico cat. So their face is kind of white, but as it spreads outwards, it's got like black and orange patches as it goes up into the ears with the tufts. Bright green eyes. Also a dirty kind of worn-in green tunic and some worn-in trousers as well. No shoes, because who needs them? And I'm trying to kind of look around to see who looks the most unawares on this street.
Okay. Go ahead and do the first roll of the campaign.
Oh boy.
Go ahead and do a, this would be a instinct check.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I have to look at my stats. Instinct. Oh, I'm pretty good at that. I got a +1. Okay. I got a 12 with fear.
12 with fear. Okay. I'm
a little nervous. All right.
It is all good. Absolutely nothing to be worried about. It is all good. I will take that fear. You are searching for a easy target.
Yes.
You're able to find somebody.
Okay.
Who would Crucible find? And then I'll
gosh.
introduce what happens after.
Well, seeing as it's a nice busy street with lots of people walking around, maybe doing some shopping, maybe buying presents and things, usually the most unaware people are the people on dates because they're too busy being lost in each other's eyes and saying, whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears and things like that.
Of
And
course.
it's even better because usually they're holding hands and gesturing with the other. So their pockets are typically left unattended, conveniently for me.
Okay. You're able to find a couple that is currently at this wood carver's stall. They are looking at different beautiful little animal carvings and speaking to this person that had created them and is selling them to them, and your eyes lock in. You begin to approach, but as that happens, you see a band of guards beginning to walk by. These are the same guards that you've had multiple run-ins with.
Oh, shit.
So, I would like you to do this would be a finesse roll? Yes, a finesse roll, please.
Finesse. I think I'm pretty good at that, actually. Okay. I got another 12 with fear.
Okay.
I'm very scared today. I'm off my game.
You hide in a crowd of people, and the guards go by. They don't seem to notice you. You take a deep breath. And as you leave this crowd of people, you find your targets have moved.
No, shit. Okay.
You begin searching around, and they are walking away. This will be a little bit harder of a pickpocket than it originally was.
Do they still look
But
lost
still
in each
possible.
other's eyes?
Oh, absolutely. These people are on a date nonetheless, so
Okay.
though they may not have been stationary They're still lost in each other's
All right,
eyes.
listen, I'm well practiced. I've been doing this for years, since I was, what? I'm like 10 now. So I've been at this a long time, all right? So here we go. All right. That is an 11 with hope.
Okay.
Hope.
You reach into one of the person's pockets. And just as you are beginning to pull something out, they stop. And you run directly into them. You have something in your hand, but they're turning around right now to look back at you.
Gone. I'm so gone. I'm running.
Please do an agility check.
All right. I was born for this. Come on. That's a 13. No, wait. 14. I get a +2, right?
14?
Oh, 14.
Okay. With hope?
Yeah. No, fear, actually. Fear.
With fear. Okay. All right. They turn around and you are gone, but they're able to see just this glimmer, this quick reflection of the sun in something that you're holding. What did you find when pickpocketing this person?
What did I find? Oh, God. Can I be super mean about it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a...
I'd prefer it, actually.
It's a wedding ring that he was going to propose.
Oh my God. I love that. Okay. All right. So you begin running away, and this person sees you running away with their ring that you're just holding in your hand, and guards! Guards! That kid stole the ring! And just begins booking it after you. With your 14 agility, you're able to keep away from this person. However, the guards are now alerted. So, I will need one final finesse roll to see if you can dodge the guards as they are running after you.
Run out.
Mm-hmm.
You're just making me do my rolls, so my streak runs out.
I'm loving it.
I know,
oh yeah, so I can just keep on getting fear. I love it.
Please. That's a 13 with hope. No, wait. You said agility or finesse?
Finesse.
A finesse. That is a 13 with hope.
Well, I guess it could be. No, sorry. It could be agility or finesse, depending on how you want to approach this situation.
Oh, you know what? I actually think I will. Well, let me look at the descriptions for finesse. So finesse, control, hide, tinker, or dodge. But you know what? I think I'm going to actually play in to the hide that falls under finesse, because I know this city like I know the back of my hand.
Of course.
Better than any of these newbie guards. So.
Okay, so this was a 14 with...
that hope. 13 with
hope.
No, wait, finesse.
Amazing.
Yeah, 13 hope. Yes.
13 with hope. Okay. Yes. And feel free to, at any point, you can always spend a hope to use your experience as well to boost that roll even higher if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I feel pretty good about it though.
Good. Yeah. No, that was a good roll.
I know this will run out, but I'm happy right now.
Okay. So you hide into a nearby crowd, and as this person that you stole from pushes through people to find you, you're not there. The guards run up and catch up to this person, and he just continues to stumble over his words as he's trying to explain that there was a kid here, but they're gone. You just hear the rabble of this happening behind you as you expertly dodge between the legs of the adults around you, the taller people, and with your feline agility, you were able to... Gone. Torin. On this beautiful spring day, The sun is shining, and the people outside are enjoying the warm weather. But the warm weather isn't there for you. Instead, we have a dark and gloomy room that you are... What exactly would you be doing at the Magister's estate today?
So, I have been told that my memorization of runes still needs work, so I am going over them for the 7th time this morning. I am on little sleep as I am once again poring through the same tome with the same notations so that I can remember what runes apply to which arcana so that I can manifest accordingly and not lose control. And I am seated near the window and do find moments of distraction where I can hear the sounds of excitement and merriment outside, which is great and very nice, and I love that for those individuals, but I have work to do, so I am just seated at my desk, focused on my learning and not on those people outside.
Okay. I would like you to please roll an instinct check to see if you can take what you have been so hard trying to study and absorb, and see if you can put that to practice.
That is an 11 with hope.
Okay. You try to manifest a spell that you have been working on for so long. Begin to see sparks appear in your hand, and at first you think that you've got it. But then it dissipates, and you're left with, once again, nothing. And then you hear a knock on the door.
I take a moment to take a deep breath to reduce the irritation that I'm feeling. Just say, 1 second. I rise and take a moment to stretch before answering the door.
At the door, you find a person that you are very familiar with. This is the Magister's assistant. He is a young Dracona. He has beautiful red scales that, especially in this firelight, seem to almost always be on fire. He's wearing the usual robes that each of you are given as you study here. And he stands there looking impatient that he had to wait. He looks at you and says, "The Magister would like to see you."
Right now, or we typically do have studies
now.
Before. All right. All right.
They turn and they begin walking.
Oh. I clear my throat, straighten up, and sort of power walk to catch up, but then walk in pace.
The estate is a large building. And, of course, at the very top of it is the Magister's room. You have to walk up 3 flights of stairs before you finally get to the very pinnacle of this castle-like home. You've been here before. Magister doesn't usually request in-person meetings. Usually the Magister is the one that comes to you to speak about something. This is odd. But this person walked to the closed doors of the Magister's office, stands there, and says, "You may enter."
Of course. I wipe some of the sweat from the 3 flights of stairs and straighten up. And should I knock or just...
You may enter.
Oh, right. Sorry. I will enter.
As you enter, what's going on in Torin's mind?
Last time I was in this room, I had assembled enough funds to pay for the tuition, and there was a brief, intense interview process to understand my affinity for the arcane. But the meeting went well. So stepping in here in the middle of a week, I suppose has me a little uneasy. There's a little small queasiness in the pit of my stomach, but I hide it as best I can behind a pleasant smile and a bow as I greet Magister Shin.
You enter into this grand, almost study. The lines are, or the walls are lined with books, and you can see every so often this invisible magic bringing books to the Magister's desk and then bringing them away. He closes one and it flits off to wherever its rightful place is in the library. You take a bow, and without even looking, he just waves you forward.
I will oblige and remain silent.
You approach Magister Shin. He is a older elf, very wise in the years that he has lived. He has this very tight and very well kept goatee that comes down to a point, and he has the same robes that you wear, but way more magnificent and flashy. Gold filigree. And he has his hair back into a ponytail and draping down his back. As he waves you forward and you approach, he repositions himself in his desk. He just takes a moment to stare silently. Can you please roll a presence?
Kujo or Torin?
Yeah.
That is a 16 with hope.
Okay. All right. So, explain to me, how is Torin handling this? Because that is a very good roll.
If there's one thing that I remember from where I came from, it's that when someone gives you a look as if they are wanting to break you before speaking, you put up every wall and you make it clear that you are not somebody to be intimidated. And while this is clearly not somebody from the more unsavory parts of the city, the message is still the same. So my somewhat nervous countenance shifts just slightly, and I stand with a little bit more presence as I meet his gaze unblinking. You
You can see the stare that he gives ends with a very small smirk. Torin, how long have you been under my tutelage?
We are approaching 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. He stands and walks to this gorgeous open window that oversees all of the city. At this height, you're able to see the people in the market that are walking back and forth. They're very small. Almost as if this place is supposed to make everyone else look insignificant. He stands at the window, not looking at you. 2 years. What do you have to show for your time here? Are you able to show me a fireball? Can you conjure a invisible servant? Can you teleport from that side of the room to the other?
I have been making progress on the base rune work.
Base. The base. That is something that even the least proficient in all of Arcana can do within the first month. 2 years.
Magister, I understand my progress is a little bit slow. The others...
Your progress is non-existent. Why would I keep someone that has no capabilities, no promise in this academy? 2 years.
If I may, Magister, the others that study under you are of a different kind of arcana. They study formulae and sigils. My magic manifests a little bit differently, and I have put in requests for a slight shift in my tutelage to accommodate if possible. And as I speak, some of the runes on my skin spark just a little as my nerves run a little high.
And there's another thing. This manifestation of your magic, it's unpredictable. How am I to know that right now you're not going to explode, killing me and everyone here? You remember the incidents that have happened in the first few weeks that you were here?
I did formally apologize to those who were injured, and I have been told that their recovery has gone well. I apologize. I merely am trying to control and understand the source of what it is that is creating these outbursts, and I apologize for my lack of progress. But I need this. I need to continue. Please, if I may, if you can test me, I assure you I can.
There have been plenty of tests. It is clear that you need this. But trying and doing are completely different things. So, for that reason, you are expelled from my tutelage. Gather your things and leave immediately.
I take a moment to feel that sting and that ache inside. But if there's one thing I have learned, it is to not let the Magister see. I give a bow. Thank you for everything you've taught me. And I turn and I leave to return to my room so that I may gather my things.
Days from any civilized village, hidden in the mountains, a small, self-sufficient community thrives. At its core, there are 2 three-eyed giants that have been told to bring about great change for the world. Though that day has not come just yet. Today is a time of training. We can hear sounds of magical blasts and steel on steel echo through a cavernous tunnel that, as we lead through, we find a sparring match. Daniel, can you please introduce your character and what they look like?
Yes, so my character's name is Roila. He is a large, about 6'5", 17-year-old giant. He is wearing just almost what looks like monk's robes, just very simple, just cloth garb with a waistband around, and he has these large metal gauntlets on his wrists that wrap around with little, almost like kind of like brass knuckles at the tips of them. And he is just sweating, and the sweat is dripping down his almost completely bald, shaved head. He almost has this like kind of like military high and tight buzz cut sort of haircut going on with his dark skin, and he has just a very fresh brand going across his forehead and wrapping around to the third eye located in the center of his forehead. And he's just kind of rising to his feet and rolling his shoulders and preparing for the next round.
Across from Roila, we see a human man that stands about 6 foot tall, nowhere near as tall as you, but definitely as skilled. He is shaking away some magic that was in his hand as he takes a breath. He's wiping his hand over his bald head as well. You got a little bit more training to do.
Well, I guess I'll give it my all this time. And Roila will clank together his gauntlets, and then they'll begin to shimmer. And because there's a little bit of a lack of space, instead of making his normal weapon that he relies on, beginning to circle around his arcane gauntlets are a bunch of tiny daggers that shoot out every time he punches.
Amazing. Okay. As you power up your arcane gauntlets, you just see this smirk showing up on his face. This is Hayden, your main trainer. So, with that, go ahead and do an attack roll.
All right.
Let's see what, or whatever you would like to do in this situation.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. So I think he's going to run up and just try to do a strike with his arcane gauntlets, and he enters into like a boxing stance, but when he strikes, it's more of like a Wing Chun, like a lot of chops and rolling quick fists. And we're going to go for the roll.
Let's see it.
All right, that is a 12 with fear.
Okay. I will take the fear point. And he spectrally brings a sword into his hand and then parries the arcane gauntlet attack. And then he is going to strike back with his magical hand. And he is... let's do that. Ooh, that was not a good roll. Okay, so that is a 4. So he takes this, he parries the arcane gauntlet, and then you just hear this whirring of magic as he presses into you a magical blast. How do you dodge it?
I think since he's going in, he's just going to use that speed and his weight to go underneath the attack and just parry it with his wrist to make the attack go towards the ceiling. And then he's going to try to strike back with his offhand.
Yeah, as you move his hand, you can see this small bit of rocks falling. That was going to be a pretty big hit. And you just see him like, good one. And then you try to strike back. Go ahead and do your attack roll.
Yeah, I think seeing that he kind of is not holding back on this, he is then going to activate his power push with his Book of Ava. So okay. He kind of, the daggers begin to swirl around his fists as he goes in for like this 1-inch punch that's going to launch out and try to go with a bunch of extra force. So he's going to, and since he's a giant, any attack that's made at melee range can be considered very close. So he'll still be able to do that attack while being really close. All right, here we go. That is going to be a... It's a 15 with fear.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Gotcha. And so since he is a war mage, he gets to add an extra D10 when he casts a spell with fear.
Yes. Yes. All right.
That is going to be a little low. That's going to be 10 points of damage.
Okay, that still passes his major threshold, so that is 2 HP slots that he is marking right now. All right, that was a big hit. Okay, so as you push the arcane gauntlet and he gets pushed back, and it's 10 feet, you said?
He gets pushed back on a success. They are blasted back to far range.
Okay, so then this is a close room, about at most 40 feet long. Do you want to slam him into the wall?
You know what? I think he does.
Absolutely.
I think Roila had a plan for how this fight was going to turn out, but there was just something that annoyed him about him using almost a full powered blast as well, that he's just like, you know what?
Yeah. All right. Okay, so he slams into the wall, and you can hear a few like bones crunch as he that was a good one. Now you can see this like purplish like flame erupt from his hand as the purple flame also erupts from this spectral sword in his hand. I see we're not messing around then.
Bring it on then.
He is going, since you rolled with fear, it's going to go over to us, and it is going to, we are going to do, as he begins to power up, he looks and he powers down, and then he brings up his his cloak, and then you just see this spectral version of him. It's almost like half shadow, half invisible, but you can see his form still there. He basically turns himself into a shadow as he begins running around you, and kind of like almost anime style, like running at the very edge of the battlefield, watching for what you do next. That is going to be his action. So then it is going to turn back over to you.
Gotcha. And then I did roll a 7 on one of those die, so I do gain a hope as well. Yeah, so I think he's just going to try to take a swing wildly around him. Well, just with his arcane gauntlets.
Okay.
Let's see, that is a 17 with hope.
Amazing. That definitely hits. Okay, so he is rushing around you, and it's hard to see in this dim lit room. The flickering of the torches around you barely provide any support as you've seen this before. And you perfectly time as he's rushing past you, as it echoes off of him, this giant punch, and you're going to be able to, are you going to try and push him again?
No, this is just a regular attack. This is just a regular attack. It's not a spell.
Then go ahead and roll damage for this.
Oh boy, yeah. That's going to be 10 points of damage.
Okay. So one thing that you do see is the punch that goes through, it's almost like you're punching a shadow. So it doesn't seem to do a full amount of damage. It doesn't pass his major threshold because he is resistant to any damage. So he is going to mark 1 HP on that.
Gotcha.
But he's still not looking great.
Gotcha.
It is still your turn because you succeeded with hope.
Seeing how this is going, Roila does take a bit of pause. And I think he's going to purposely do an attack, but purposely miss. And just whiff on purpose. And that's what he's just going to do on his turn.
Go ahead and do a presence roll, just to make it seem like you're trying to attack.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What do I get to that? Oh, perfect. A -1. My favorite. Let's see here. That is a 17.
Ooh, okay. So
with hope.
Oh, wow. Incredible. All right. You were able to sell it. He continues running, and you act as if you were just behind him, not being able to hit. And he has no idea that you were throwing that one. So then it does come to his turn, and he is going to bring in this magical blast towards you one more time. Does a 12 hit?
Yes. Would that be my evasion score?
That would be your evasion score.
Okay, yeah, then it hits.
Okay. Okay. 12 magic damage as he brings in his hand and then poof, pushes you. You slide back a little bit from that, and that's all he's gonna do right now.
Gotcha.
Actually, he will mark a stress to also mark a stress on your side as well. This blast ripples through you, and you slide back, and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have thrown that.
Well, so when I marked the damage, so he did 12. So my armor subtracts from that?
Right. So your damage, you're going to have thresholds. When
Gotcha.
Just below your evasion and armor, you'll see minor, major, and severe damage.
Gotcha.
That first number is probably going to be like 7 to 8, 6 to 8 ish.
Yeah, I got a 5 for minor, 10 for major.
Okay. So then, what did I say? How much damage?
You said 12.
12. So that's going to hit your major. That is going to be 3 HP slots that you're going to mark.
Gotcha.
Unless you want to use some of your armor, which your armor score is how much you can reduce the damage by. And you have, I think, 6 slots in order to reduce it. So if you...
I have 7.
What is your armor? Okay,
so my
you
armor
could
is
use
6
2.
and I have 7 slots.
Your armor is 6. Okay, so then
Yeah.
you could do 2 to reduce that to no damage if you'd like.
Okay, so I sacrificed 2 armor slots to reduce it to... Yeah, I'll do that.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
then,
I'll reduce it to no damage, and
right.
then I will purposely throw myself onto the ground.
Amazing. All right. So, that is his go. It is back to you.
I still selling like part of like the way the cloths look just like normal monk like robes, but they're lined with a very thin and heavy metal in between the lighting of the clothing for a battle mage. So like little like pockets of metal sheets begin to drip out of the clothing. And I just begin to hold my ribs and go, I yield. No more. That's enough for the day.
All right. Okay. I guess you need to go to the infirmary because of those wounds. Actually, please do another presence roll just to make sure that we're on the same page here.
If you insist.
We need to make sure.
Yeah. We got to sell it. That's going to be 11.
Okay.
With hope.
With hope. That's great. You fall back, and as that happens, his hand is outreached. He... You held back, didn't you?
No, you, why would I do such a thing?
You fucking held back. How many times do we have to fight before you actually show me what you can do?
I'm not sure if people would like me if I did that.
Roila, you need to show me what you can do. That's the only way you can get better.
Roila stands
You
up.
know what we're...
Yeah,
You know what we're working for.
I'm very well aware. I just need a little time. You understand? It's people are always watching me.
All right.
Listen,
Well,
tomorrow
I'm gonna hold you to it.
I'll give you a solid 70%.
70%.
75 if you're nice.
All right. I'll see you
He
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. And he kind of gathers his things and just like a little backpack with a little bit of supplies, but it's a little bit heavier than normal, a little extra thicker inside of his pack of supplies. And he gathers his things together. He casts prestidigitation to just, it doesn't fix the armor, but it's just to sew up the clothing. And you just watch as the needle and the thread themselves, and he's just manipulating it with magic to make it move by itself. And he's just walking through the halls, and does his best to avoid everyone's gaze as bows go through the hallways, and he just tries not to look at anyone as he goes to the infirmary.
You try not to look at anybody, but even in your peripherals, all you see is just adoration and admiring, almost to the point of, well, this would be up to you, but annoyance. This has been your life for so long that the only emotion you ever see from people is that.
And I think the frustration also comes from Roila doesn't internalize those glances as admiration for him, but more so the purpose that he serves for his sister.
You continue through the cave. We move to a new location. In the same secluded cave that Roila was, we find a chamber where whispered sounds of the injured and sick create this discordant chorus for the ears of the healers here. You work endlessly trying to save a handful of bedridden folks. They've been stuck here for nearly a week after their most recent hunting mission that they had gone on, ending with a group of undead. Nothing out of the ordinary, they explained. But after the typical remedies have failed, the infection continues to spread, and that is when worry began to rise. Each of them bitten, each of them failing, getting closer and closer to death's dark embrace. In this room, we find Meadow. Would you please introduce your character, who they are, what they look like, and what they're doing?
I think you see a very tall, statuesque young woman. If you can picture like a statue of Lady Justice or something like that, where the robes are kind of draped across and just kind of flowing and yet still modest. She's dressed like that. She even has an apron around to stick little medical supplies in, a very similar but simple headdress to keep herself in neutral colors, to be useful, but appealing to the eye, as she probably is sitting cross-legged down at a bedside, so is eye level with the person laying down in that bed, and her large hand is just resting gently on top of this person's, who has probably steadily been getting worse since returning. And she has 3 eyes, just like her brother, and the same brand. Hers is gilded like gold, and it frames her third eye as she looks down at this person, knowing that it's not been getting better, and there's a sense of desperation rising in her.
We also find a human woman with golden skin walking around from table to table, checking vitals of each of the other patients, praying that something has changed. It hasn't. Each time that she speaks to somebody, she feigns a smile, and then each time she turns, and that face quickly turns to concern. After that last patient, she locks eyes with you, and She pulls a pin out of her tight bun, letting her shimmering black hair fall to her shoulders as she walks over to you. I just don't get it. They should be getting better. Everything that we've been doing, they just keep getting worse. We should take this outside.
Of course. And she'll kind of smile down at the person in front of her and just gently squeeze their hands and stand with Some, and very opposite to her brother as she walks through the halls here. She makes eye contact with every person, stops to lay a gentle hand on their leg or their hand or the end of the bed. And so it takes a few minutes just to leave because she is trying to embody the reverence that they give to her as she steps outside with Some.
You all stand outside, and this small group of people seem to be walking down to mess hall as they turn and bow to you specifically, Ilora, and continue on. Some waits, and then I don't think they're gonna make it through the night. We've spoken to their family, right? You've spoken to them?
Yes, of course. I have let them know what it is that we know, which is, unfortunately, not very much the current hour. I know that you've been working very hard, Some, especially this last week. And I'm forever grateful for you taking that time to spend with me and teach me what you know. And I know that it might be unusual, but I fear, my friend, that desperate times do in fact call for quite desperate measures. Wouldn't you agree? Good. Then we are of one mind. I just need you to keep a lookout for me. Just a moment.
Do you think we should speak with their families first?
Not until the last drop of hope has been wrung dry from this rag, yes?
As you look at her, you can see the bags under her eyes. You can tell that she's been skipping sleep. She's a little bit more gaunt than she was. She's also skipping, eating. She has been putting her heart and soul and everything into trying to solve this mystery. Yes. Yes, I will keep a lookout.
For just a moment, truly. And I'm going to try and slip back in. It was just she and I working the infirmary for now.
Mm-hmm. Typically, it's just Some, because there's usually not this huge influx of people. And usually, it's Some leading and then Ilora learning. But this has been a lot more of where the pupil has now had to rise to the occasion, and you both have just been working so hard on this.
Yeah.
So yes.
I just put a gentle hand on Some's shoulder, and then I make a beeline back for the last person that I was with. Mm-hmm. I think very strategically, I have been gravitating towards the person who has seemed to be deteriorating the slowest. So showing the least amount of symptoms or severity of them. And I'm going to go over and probably in this infirmary area there is some kind of idol or statue or something of a deity that we have been raised to believe will fix anything. And I was raised to believe that I am that deity's will and hand.
Yes, this deity is meant... this is Sol, the god of sun, rebirth, and renewal. You were supposed to be the chosen one of this deity, the person that all of these people here believed would change the world. So yes, there is this depiction of what mortals believe the god of the sun would look like. And you approach it just like you have many times this week. What do you do?
I think I kneel in front of it, and I place my hands at the feet of the idol, the statue, and I say, something terrible has happened. But I know that if we are your chosen, we cannot err if we remain faithful and we try our hardest. If we let your glory shine down on those cast in shadow, we cannot fail. And she's going to stand and walk over to the one showing the slowest deterioration, and she is going to attempt to heal this person. I don't think she's ever done this before, but mechanically speaking, above table, she's doing mending touch.
Okay. Mending touch. What exactly does that do?
Yeah, I'm going to lay my hands upon him, and it's supposed to channel healing magic to close wounds, to heal hit points or a stress. And if I spend time with them learning about them, it can heal more than just one. It can do like 2 stress or hit points. And as I've been spending the most time with this person, I would try and do the most I can. But this is truly a shot in the dark, and this is mostly fueled by my own upbringing and faith that I've been told I can do something amazing, and this would be a miracle.
You spend time trying to heal. And the bite that you found on this person, right on the clavicle, you can see black veins spidering out from it, reaching up their neck and up into their face. You see it spanning down their arms and completely over their torso. Healing magic flows through you. And then as you open your eyes, you find the wound has closed, but the spidering of the black veins continue. So you're unsure as to how much you were able to do.
Is there any presence in my hands that would convince me that this was my doing through soul, like warmth or glowing or anything like that, that would make me feel like this was divine?
As part of the magic that you harness, yes. It seems to be very directly linked from soul. And when you heal, there is this bright light, almost reminiscent of sunlight, that illuminates as you begin to heal somebody.
I think
so. There is always that feeling. Yes.
Yeah. I think for this being her first time doing something like that, her breath catches and she goes, "Soul be with us. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wonderful. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is it. And I just, okay, all right. Some.
As Some enters back in, Roila, you see Some standing outside, and she doesn't see you as she walks back into the infirmary.
Okay.
You just miss her as you turn the corner.
Good. Roila steps back, peeks over again, make sure she's not there. All right. I can't adjust my hair. Fucking hell. That's silly. That's silly. And he begins to do his prestidigitation again, and he just makes the most beautiful bouquet of flowers with colors that don't exist in the natural world. This ethereal, almost like fey, chromatic color of petals that just, with every rotation in the light, shift between different variations of colors. And kind of then on top, it sprinkles this floral note that's very sweet that kind of circles around it. Well, it's not... Sorry, it's not the real thing, but sorry, it's not the real thing, but hope this... Fuck it. And then he just kind of walks down the hall and kind of peeks into the infirmary and just kind of knocks. Hello?
As you peek into the infirmary, you see Ilora and Some standing above one of the people that is lying in one of the beds, as both of them look towards you. And Some, the feigned smile that she's had to have on her face, Ilora, you've seen it. It's absent of emotion, only a show, but this smile is warm. It's loving. It connects her heart to her face as she shows true happiness when she sees Roila at the door. And she just looks... Roila.
I'm sorry, is this a bad time?
No.
Okay. He closes the door to the infirmary. I understand.
Are you hurt?
No, well, not exactly. I took a hit, but I
please
took a fall. No.
She brings you over to one of the seats. Please.
He sits down.
Take a look.
No, it's just a minor stress injury, really. Just a few muscles got a little. These are for you, but obviously they're, he puts his hand through the illusion. But the cool thing is that you can wear it, and he turns the flowers into like a little flower crown that kind of go around with her. But
this is wonderful. So beautiful. Thank you.
No problem. I thought it would be nice to probably spruce things up in here a little bit.
Yeah. How does it look?
Beautiful.
You see, she blushes.
But it's just a minor stress. Nothing really. I just needed an excuse to Get here.
Why is the only time that I see you is when, just after training? You always come in here.
I wish it was easier ways to see you, but they keep me on a very strict schedule. If it's not reading, then it's training. If it's not training, it's reading while training. That's always a fun one. But you know,
Do I need to tell Hayden to take it easy on you?
Yeah, well, you know, he tries. He tries his best. But you know, I've just been really busy for a certain someone over there.
You both look over to Ilora. Ilora, what are you doing?
My hands are shaking as I look down at this guy.
Roila walks over and kind of just clasps your hands. All right, hello.
Hi.
I think it's time for you to take a break.
Yes, of course.
Right.
I'm
He kind of helps you stand up.
Prayers.
He goes, wait,
Prayers.
what is? Hold on, one second. One second. What's that smell? What's that smell?
No,
What is that?
I didn't.
You sure? And then he
Yes.
does prestidigitation to make it smell like a fart. Oh,
I
God.
hate it when you do this.
Oh, the chosen one. And that chosen protein. Oh, God.
So, May, I want you to
As
know
you-
exactly what you're getting into with this one.
As you look towards Some, you see she's at the door, and she's speaking to this woman, and she looks back, and this woman is like trying to look past her. She just says, puts up a finger, and continues talking to this person.
Do we know this person?
Just based off of like that brief moment that you could see, you recognize this person to be Kaylin, who is the wife to one of the injured folks, Ellen. She
Okay.
seems to be looking for some sort of a update.
Hey, focus.
She needs me.
I know. But today's the day.
Yes.
Today.
I promise, and I'm going to focus in on it.
And that. Isn't that what we said last time?
There are people suffering, Roila. I need to be
There
there
are
for them.
always people suffering.
Not for long, if Soul is with us.
Of course. Praise be. And he steps aside frustratedly.
And she's not going to tell him about healing for the first time because Roila is Roila. She'll tell him later. He basically is the other half of her brain. So she's going to go straight for the woman at the door, and not try to shove Somei aside or anything, but kind of like peek out.
While that's happening,
Go
can
ahead.
Roila just try to check her bag that's supposed to be fully packed
I love that.
to see if it is? Like if it's like off to the
Absolutely.
side.
That's so rude, Roila. You don't trust me.
Absolutely. You take a step over towards the bag. Go ahead and do a finesse roll, just to see if you can do this without Ilora seeing you.
Quite. We get a whopping +0 to that. Can we? So with the experience rolls,
You would have to use a hope, and then you can add your +2 if that experience applies to this situation. And you can do both of them if they both, apply, but you would have to use 2 hope.
yeah, it's not that serious. We're just checking the bag. We don't need to get crazy with it.
Sure.
That's a crit. I got 2 10s.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Ilora is completely focused. Actually, Ilora, the only way that you can get this to work is if you roll a crit on instinct. So please roll an instinct roll to see if you
When
notice.
you say get this to work, What are we talking about here, Jonny?
We're saying if you notice your brother walking on
Okay.
over and checking out your
That'll
your
throw away a
bag.
roll for. Nope, I did not crit. But I did pretty
Okay.
good.
Well, unfortunately, due to the crit that Daniel just rolled, you, Ilora, are focused on this woman at the door and helping Some in any way that you can. Ilora, is your bag packed?
No.
Roila, you walk over to Ilora's bag, and immediately after lifting it, you already know. It's too empty. But you open it, not even close to being packed. We focus back onto Some and Ilora. As you walk up to the doorway, Some says, I don't think that that's a good idea. We don't know anything about this infection just yet, so I think things are not looking great. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know how long this can go. And you can see this person, Kaylin, is in shock. So much so that as you begin approaching Ilora, they don't even acknowledge you as most people would. She just has this 1,000-yard stare. Her birthday is next week. Is there... There's no chance that I can see her. And somebody just looks over to you, Ilora. Looks back.
I take her hand immediately and I say, if you walk with me, I will take you to her. I know that your voice would be a great comfort in this time. I must warn you, as Some told you, we are dreadfully underread in this new disease or affliction. But we are not alone. Yes? Let us go show that to your lovely spouse. Soul be with us. And she'll kind of walk her over, and she is going to, as subtly as possible, keep her entire body in between her and the
Sure.
Yeah, in the bed.
Okay. Some returns to Roila's side while standing and looking towards Kaylin and Ilora. I'm sorry, this isn't what you probably expected.
No, it's I don't know what I've been expecting lately.
She goes to reach for your hand.
And I think also too, she'd feel the jingle of the mala beads that he carries, the prayer beads that are wrapped around his wrist, kind of jingle as she tries to grasp his hand. So they're like kind of in between his hand as he grabs it as well. I just thought today would be the day.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
I just wish I could help. I know that we talked about this, but I can't afford to leave at all.
I know. I'm just afraid of if we do and you don't come with us, what they'll say or do. I don't.
She gets a little closer to you. I don't. In very hushed tones, just says, I don't think that these people will make it through the night. If that happens.
I understand. He just squeezes her hand a little tighter.
I'm going to spend a fear point. And you begin to hear the sound of groans and mumbling from the far end of the room. Looking that way, Ilora, you see this too. One of the patients sits up at the edge of their bed, facing the other direction.
Praise be to soul.
You see their head twitching, bones cracking with each movement.
You all right, mate? Hello?
No answer. Crucible.
Yes.
We return to your regrouping with the others. You have a small home on the outskirts of town where nobody really pays attention. There's an abandoned house that each of you just live together in. No one wants to deal with it, so you are its rightful owners as far as anybody else is concerned. When you return, it's still midday, so not everyone is here just yet. But you do find some people. Who is the first person that you would go to after finding a big score like a wedding ring that you did?
Oh gosh, it has to be Nicholas. Nicholas will be most impressed. Nicholas is a bit older than me. He's probably like 19 or something, but I'm old. I'm like mature for my age, so I could talk to him like I'm one of the bigger kids here. You know how it is. And I'm like, Nicholas, looky, did you get something like this today? I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
Let me see that. You got this?
Yes, I did. They're so stupid.
They just
Who's
weren't
thinking
even
that?
looking at it? You just...
No, they weren't. It was in his pocket.
What an idiot!
You just leave a naked, like, ring in your pocket, not even in a box. Crazy.
He tries to put it on. It's way too big.
I think it looks pretty good.
I think
What do you
it looks
think?
good. You could put it on a necklace or something.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think I have a necklace somewhere.
Goes around, looks through this small pile
No,
of
wait a
just
second. Are you taking
bags
the
and-
ring? I found this. Wait a second.
What?
Hold on.
Well, you
Take it
said-
back. Hold on. Are you?
But
I
you
didn't
said I
say-
could put it on a necklace.
I said you could. I said you could put it on. I didn't say you could have it forever. I didn't say that.
All right.
I said you could
All
try
right.
it. All right.
All right. Well, here, I'll give you a necklace.
Okay.
Brings out this like
Oh, thank you.
leather, really beat up necklace that,
Crucible. Thinks
Nobody
it's
would look twice
perfect.
at. Of course. And then ties it around.
Does it look alright?
do you
Is it my
say?
colour?
It looks great.
Okay.
You look very sophisticated.
Oh, thank you. I'm just gonna have to, I guess, steal an outfit or something to match. It's a little bit posh for me, isn't it? With the tunic and the pants.
Well, who cares?
Who cares?
You gonna
Did you
go
get
out with
anything
this
good today?
Just dangling around so that somebody could see. Oh, what if you run into them again and then they look and they see it?
Wouldn't that be
So
so cheeky, though?
The look
Wouldn't
on
it-
their faces.
Like, I do it all the time where I find people I've stolen from before, and then I just show myself for a second, and then they blink, and then I'm gone, and it's like a great joke.
So good. So good. Oh, I love it.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Where are the others? Do we have food? Did somebody get food today?
I think
I'm kind of starving.
I think so. I think Sam brought in some food, so it's in the kitchen. But
Get anything good?
I don't know.
Sam!
I didn't check in with him. You run into the kitchen and you find basic food, just
Delicious.
some
It's perfect.
the ends of meats that nobody ever wanted, some
I love
bread
it.
that is a little stale. But of course, this
It's
is free. This is your life. Is there anything that you do here to feel more at home? What does Crucible find comfort in this home?
I think it's just the little odds and ends that we've all taken, like, over the months, over the years, to turn it into a home. Because I think when the first of our little, found family community, when they found this home, it was just a shell. It was just a skeleton of what once was something that brought people comfort. And so it was our job to usher the comfort in. And so it's a little tapestry that somebody uses as a blanket. It's a tattered book that somebody's read over 100 times, and we've all passed it around the house so we could all partake in the adventure together. It's just the things that you don't necessarily need to survive, but the things that you want to live a life, to add that fullness. And I think it's been a team effort. And so it's, this chair that, Jamie took, and like everything that is in this home, we remember who brought that here for us and how appreciative we are of them and how much we love them, because look at what they've done for our family.
As you sit down to have such fine dining, others arrive after their big scores. Some of them are reveling in your great find that you have and saying, you could probably sell that for a bunch
I
if you
don't
go
wanna
back
sell it
out
yet.
to the market.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
okay.
I don't want to sell it yet. I just got to.
I mean, you gotta wear it around a little.
a little bit. I mean, not in
Yeah.
front of people. Maybe around here. But I want to
Maybe in
keep
front
it
of people
for like,
sometimes.
maybe just
to
like
show it
one
off.
time. One time.
Of course. You hear one of the kids running in saying, I got wine! And then he brings it into the kitchen. And then he brings it into the kitchen, and the label is all scratched up. He opens up the cork and starts pouring. It's just grape juice.
It's the best grape juice we've ever had.
But it's so good. And
Yes.
who knows, maybe the younger folks might think that it is wine.
Feel
But the
very
older ones are like,
sophisticated.
of course, yes. In your
yes.
chipped wine glasses and
Me and my ring and my
beautiful
wine.
wooden mugs. Yes, of course. You spend the day with your found family. But the day goes by just as quick as any other. Is there anything that you do to get ready for bed?
I think this is gonna sound a little corny, but I don't care. I think because people are constantly going in and out of this home, and sometimes, we're an adventurous crew. Sometimes somebody leaves and we don't see them for a couple days, and then they come back and they're like, "Where the hell were you?" And I think Crucible makes a point of recognizing that she doesn't fully know when she's going to see someone next. So she makes sure that she always sees them off to sleep. So I think her bedtime ritual, they go around and they literally just wish everyone good night.
Ugh.
And like ask them about, their day, like the best part of their day or something like that. And it's just
it's connection upkeep, because we're all very, even though we're young, we're all very invested in one another.
I love that. You go around wishing everybody happy
Birthday.
jeez.
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Well, it's gonna be somebody's birthday. So
Happy
many of us
birthday.
here.
You go around wishing everyone a good night, and you find yourself getting ready to go to sleep. Torin. You're walking home. It's a short distance from the estate. You wanted to be as close as you could. What's going through your head as you're walking home and you know that your fiance is going to be there?
I am carrying a box of my journals, and I'm wearing my normal robes now, feeling disappointed and heartbroken. And I know that Bannon would not ever act this way, but there is just this pit in my stomach because we worked so hard to come up with the money for me to do this. And I can't help but feel like there's a small chance that when I walk in, he's going to be just as disappointed. But I see the house approaching, and that energy, that nervous energy, just causes my body to almost vibrate a little bit as I take the last few steps to my door.
You open the door, and inside you find Bannon is cleaning up the place. They don't seem to be paying any mind. They're humming something as they continue sweeping the living room floor and finally look up to see you at the doorway. What are you doing home? Oh. He drops the broom and then walks over to you, grabs your hand, and then pulls you into the living room, into your favorite chair, and then sits across from you. What happened?
I wasn't good enough.
Like you failed a test, or?
I got expelled. I'm so sorry. I really...
Hold on. Like expelled? Like gone?
Magister himself confirmed it. And,
That fucking bastard. Do you want me to kill him? I know a guy. I can kill him. You just say the word.
No,
Fuck.
what if he was right, though, to do it? I don't know what I'm doing. And,
No. That's not how you take this. He's a teacher. He should be teaching you. obviously you might have some issues with certain things, but that doesn't mean that he expels you. That's fucking giving up on his end. That's not you. That's him. Oh, I want to fucking kill that guy.
It's okay. It's okay. This means we can work together again, pick up a couple jobs here and there, and I just may have to do some self-care to make sure I don't have another episode, and that is fine.
How about this? This actually came at a perfect time because I just got done with the previous job that I had, and I got paid a lot. So, why don't you and I go out to our favorite place and just have a nice evening? Forget about that fucking piece of shit. And we focus on us.
Okay. That sounds good.
On me, of course. all
well, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for just a little bit until I can get working again.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about. It's not your fault. You sure you don't want me to kill him?
Maybe not kill him, but I'm sure we can.
We can come up with something.
We can fuck with his tea. He's really particular about his tea.
Well, do you know where he gets his tea? And this conversation continues as you make your way out. You have an incredible meal with delicious ale and wonderful music. The two of you have a memorable evening. As you're walking back, looking up to the stars, it's a cloudless, beautiful night. Stars shine beautifully above. What is a place that the two of you would go on a night like this? Or would that be home?
I think there is a spot in this city where some of the buildings come together, but there's this little opening, and it's just wide enough for like secret meetings and business to be handled, but it also has a little bit of a quiet, almost courtyard feel to it. And
I like that.
I remember Bannon taking me here for our first date.
Perfect. That is exactly where Bannon takes you. He grabs a few chairs from the nearby tavern and then hurries away before he's seen, walks you down this alley, sets them down. Honestly, I think he was doing us a favor. Think about all the money that we're saving now. Think about what we could do with that instead. We could do more of this. And what better way to learn how to use your stuff than out in the field? I can bring you with us when we go out on our next next contract.
You sure about that?
I know. Don't worry. I'll protect you.
Oh, you'll protect me.
Of course. That's what I'm here for anyways, isn't it? And then gives you a nice little flex.
You may have a couple of uses here and there.
Couple.
Just one or two. But I'll tell you what. That sounds like a good idea, provided that maybe we, I don't know, find a nice smaller town somewhere. Somewhere to settle where we don't have to do a bunch of these odd jobs here and there. We don't have to rob caravans or worry about stuffy nobles. We can just have a little spit of land somewhere.
Somebody's gonna hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, good. No, that sounds nice. We've been talking about that kind of a thing for years.
Yeah, since we were kids. All right. If there's this big, strong Inferis that's going to protect me, then I guess why not? Plus, we get to spend time together, so, added bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I think spending time with me isn't too bad, right? Other than that stuffy room that you had over at the estate.
It was sophisticated for those who like that sort of...
Of course, yes, let me read my books about magic. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well.
No, this is going to be good. This is a good thing. I'm sorry that it didn't work out, but this is a good thing.
Thanks. I did manage one little thing.
Oh?
And I produce a bottle of wine.
Oh. Is this the Magister's private reserve that we get to taste from?
Yeah, I did maybe swipe it before I left. It looks expensive.
Well, I mean, if he comes after us, I mean... Oops. I accidentally chopped his head off. Oh no. Those accidents happen all the time, right?
It's true. People get their heads chopped off every day walking downstairs.
Every day. Yeah,
every single day.
We hear about it all over.
It's true.
Town criers. Another decapitation. All right, let's try that.
Okay.
You drink from the wine. The wine is, as much as you don't want to admit it, it is excellent. It is worth every penny that you didn't pay.
Thank you, Magister Shin, for the bottle of delicious and expensive wine.
You spend some time under the stars talking about the future plans, the promising future that you hold with Bannon. And about an hour into it, begin to hear the bells of the town beginning to ring. Each of you pop up. Then you begin to hear screams, growing louder and louder. Roila, as you call out to this person, asking if they are okay, you see they snap to look directly at you. You see bloodshot eyes, orange red, looking directly at you, almost through you. You just see this blood dripping from their mouth. As that happens, Ilora, just next to you, you also see Kaylin, who had been putting their hand, as you looked away, on the cheek of her wife. And as you're staring at this person who snaps to your brother, you hear a scream just next to you. As that happens, Some lets out a terrible scream as well as she sees two more beginning to rise. Screeches begin to echo through this small room. What are you doing?
Roila is immediately going to put his hand on Ilora's shoulder and yank her back closer to him. And as he places his hand on her shoulder, he's going to spend a hope to cast, let's see here, Tava's armor. So you get to add a d6 to your armor score.
Okay.
I'm scared. And as I'm being pulled back, I think immediately, I'm too frazzled. I just thought I helped. I just healed someone through the power of soul, and now people are rising and looking extremely unnatural. So I think I'm just off balance, and I go down heavy. I go down like Shaq on the court with a foul, like both legs up in the air. So I am knocked close to my backpack, I think, and I'm like, maybe I should have packed. But I'm gonna scrape it up and start like getting towards the altar, because I know that everything I would need to run is just right there.
Roila, you snap Ilora back, and you see that she begins to approach the shrine. Simultaneously, Some rushes towards the woman to try and grab her free.
No.
Gone. You have already focused on Ilora, and as that happened, Some has rushed over, and she has tried to grab Kaylin, who is being held tight by her wife, now undead. Roila, what do you do?
I
will say, I'm going to spend a fear point. One of the zombies just next to Ilora also stands. You have a choice here.
Why would you do that?
This is diabolical.
Why would you do that? It's not nice. That's not nice. So I'm split between. Okay. Instead of activating his gauntlets, Roila's gonna swap to his grapple hook. Can he pull one person and then rush towards the other to try to get in between?
I will say, for this, it will take you will have to do an attack roll in order to see if you hit with the grapple. Let's start with that first.
Okay. Who looks like they have the lowest evasion score? Can I make an instinct check to see who I think would be easier to try to grapple?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. That is a 9 with hope.
Both of them are in danger. It is difficult to say.
Yeah.
I will say Ilora is the one that hasn't seen the impending danger. I will say that. Some knows what she's doing. She is purposely putting herself in that position.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot
Ilora
the
does
grapple
not
hook
know.
out to Ilora and
Okay.
try to grapple her away.
Okay. Go ahead and do your attack roll.
Getcha. So yeah, it's a finesse weapon, so I get +0 to it. So I'm risking the biscuit.
I hope you fail. I need my religious stuff.
Hey, yo! Don't say that! Don't say that! That's a 17 with hope.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, that
my
is...
religious stuff.
No! How about this? Ilora, you were just trying to grab the shrine, right? Like this little statuette of soul? Is that what you're trying to grab?
No, I'm trying to make like a keen swipe into the backpack. So like the letters, the sacrificial dagger, the candles, I'm bringing my god with me.
I will say, do an agility roll.
Okay.
If you don't beat a 17, we'll gauge based off of what you roll how much you're able to get.
Okay, so that is a 16? Wait, what am I adding to it?
Your agility.
Agility.
Okay, so that's a 17, but with fear.
Okay. You are able to grab everything off of this shelf. It pours into your backpack. However, as the soul statuette tries to go into the backpack, you see it snaps in half. And then you are pulled away just as this creature rushes past you and then slams into the wall just beside you.
Yeah, so Roila
Something is
is
off.
grapple hook around the waist. It just wraps around Batman style, pulls her in. And this is the grappling hook that he has been working for months to smuggle into here because it was going to be their way out. And so he's not supposed to have this. As the grapple hook is pulled out, zips her to where he is, which is right next to the door, and says, "Run!" And then he is going to try to move.
Some turns and rushes towards you. You can see that she is covered in blood. Whether or not that's hers, you're not entirely sure. As she rushes up to you and says, "Something's wrong. Something's wrong with them. We need to go."
We need to go. Yes, we are all in the same accord.
You begin rushing out. Crucible. It's a quiet night. Minus the creaking of the old house that you live in. And the mumblings of the dreams the kids have. You've always been a perceptive person. So, when you feel the ground shake, that strikes you as odd. Then you begin to hear a distant scream. As the town bells begin to go. Immediately more screams, and it seems like it's getting closer and closer to you. Then, an explosion rocks the foundation of this house. You feel dust beginning to fall down. It wakes the other kids. They're beginning to panic. They look to you as you're the only one that's up at this point. What's going on?
I don't know. We have to go. The house is gonna come down. Get everybody up. Everybody get up now.
Everybody begins to stir and panic. You exit the house and immediately you begin to hear this screaming all throughout the street that you're on. People are running up and down. You're trying to understand what's going on. Do a instinct check.
That is a 13 on fear.
Okay. with a 13, you are trying to ascertain where everybody is running. There's a majority of people running somewhere. They're running from something. So you look both ways and find that they're running to the right. Okay, you have a position, but what are they running from? That's when you look to your left.
Yes.
And you see there's fire. One of the houses at the end of the street is set aflame. And just before that, you see this hunched over monster. A body splayed onto the ground, and this thing clawing and ripping and biting into it. You see people screaming as they're running by, and one person you see looks and pauses just as another runs into this person, tackling them down and beginning to scream as this thing rips and tears the flesh from them. Whatever they're running from, that would be it. You look and see everyone running towards the gate to the right. Do you follow?
Would I know of a better way to escape from this?
You know this city well.
Yes.
But this is an extremely tense situation. You haven't seen monsters like this.
No.
So, I would like you to do a knowledge roll.
Oh boy. Not
See
mine.
if you can remember the ways around in this
All right.
very distracting situation.
That is a 6 with fear.
Okay. As you begin looking around, you're trying to keep your head in this visual representation of the city. You're trying to think of another way out, but you always come back to there is a gate just down the road. And as you close your eyes to try and think of something, and you just hear this coming from down the street. You look over and you see this group of 4 monstrous humanoids that are barreling towards each of you, this small group of kids and young adults. You are being chased. So, do you follow?
Yeah, it's the only option.
Okay. You begin running down this street. Please do an agility check.
Okay. I do think. Alright. I have an ability for agility checks, actually. When you mark?
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll see how this. I have the potential to use an ability for a reroll for hope, just in case.
Okay.
But we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Okay, whoa. Okay. So. I've got either a 3 hope or a 13 fear. I have given you so many fear
Wait,
tokens.
what?
Because I rolled I rolled a 1
Okay,
on
go
my
ahead.
hope die, but I have an 11 on my fear die.
Okay.
And I add 2.
Okay, so then you have a 14 with fear,
No, 13.
or you could
13, I believe.
wait, you said +2,
Yes. And I
so
rolled
1 and
11.
11, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled an 11. Well, no, you add those together.
Yes.
Okay.
I've
So 1 and 11,
wait,
right?
no, I'm such a silly goose.
Have you not been adding them together the whole time?
Listen, audience.
Oh my gosh.
I am a
that is
new
so
player
and you've been
today.
still rolling so well. That's
yes.
outrageous.
I'm
That
a
is
new
incredible.
player to Daggerheart.
Okay.
Sometimes you goof it. Exhibit A.
Sometimes you goof it. And you know
No.
what? I'm glad that we figured this out. So
Yes.
you rolled a 14 with fear.
I'm so glad
you
we got to the
want-
bottom of that.
To re-roll that hope.
So I can potentially re-roll it, but then how does marking a stress work? What does that do to me if I have to mark
So
a stress?
you have specific stress slots. So just under your HP slots,
Yes.
you'll see stress. You should have about 6 at this level that you can use freely to do your abilities. They are meant to be used for your abilities. During short rests, you can clear an amount of stress. There are abilities that allow other people to clear stress. There are things that you can do to clear them. At a long rest, you can clear them completely, but they are meant to use for your abilities.
But you know what, though? I think even though I feel that's a pretty good roll, even though it's done with fear, I think in this moment, it makes sense to incur a stress. And hopefully you'll make the roll higher. We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's just... So that's a 5... So that was 4 more. So that's I'm sitting now at an 18. With fear.
Nice. Still with fear.
Still.
Okay.
Yes.
18 with fear. Wow. You are one of the quickest of the group. You always have been. Your feline agility makes you just a little bit quicker than other, like humans and Dracona.
I feel like it's me
all of them.
hustling to try to keep up with Nicholas. I feel like Nicholas is leading this group right now, and he's always been kind of my beacon, so I am just hustling to stay on his mark.
Okay. You are hustling to stay just toe in toe with Nicholas.
Yeah.
Let's see how Nicholas does. Okay, he did really well.
Okay.
I'll say that he probably has a... What is your agility, +2?
Yes.
Okay. I would say that he has a +2 as well, so that gives him a 15. So he is running, keeping up with leading the pack towards the large group of people that are continuing to turn that last corner around. You do see one of the older kids is tackled by one of the monsters. You look back, there's more coming. You either stop or you keep going. Nicholas looks back and just says, "We need to keep going."
Oh no, oh no.
You keep running, following this large group of people. As you turn down the corner, you see the gates are open, but there are hundreds of people trying to get out. So it is just this bottleneck.
Yeah.
But you've been able to make it through crowds before. You're small enough to where you can weave between their legs and make it out. However, Torin, you begin to hear the bells around you. This large explosion nearby, very close. You see the smoke and the light from that explosion in the air. It has to be down the street.
What the hell's going on?
And you hear screams. Screaming and growing louder and louder, creating this chaos around you. And Bannon just looks at you and then... Are we under attack?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Here, come with me.
Okay.
He leads you down the alleyway and looks. You make your way to the side of him to see what he's seeing. And it is utter chaos. But you look towards that explosion. That's the Magister's estate. You can see the top of it is crumbled in. You can see parts of it have broken down into large stone pieces. The walls of the estate have been completely collapsed. And just below that, you see the outlines of people, shadows behind this giant fire, making it very difficult to see any details, but what you do see is somebody running towards a person that is limping away as they grab onto them and pull them to the ground, and you just see arms coming up and down, ripping pieces of them off. And to the other side, more of the same. You do see you're on a bit of an uphill slope, and down below you see, past these alleyways at the gate, that gate is closed. And yet people are there trying to get through. You have moments to figure out what you want to do. Where would Torin and Bannon go?
The entrances to the sewers that drain outside of the city. I just sort of pull on Bannon's arm. We have to go. We have to go. We have to go now.
Okay. Yeah. It's closed.
I think there's a sewer entrance that's nearby. I think I can find it. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You begin running. Please do an agility check.
That is a critical.
Critical. Oh my gosh. Okay. I rolled a 4. However, I will say with this critical, you are able to lift Torin up, basically. Like you are able to aid not Torin, sorry. Bannon. Jeez. You're able to help Bannon cross through different alleyways until you finally find that opening where you can just jump into the sewer. It's completely closed at the moment, but nearby you do see there is this monster that is just ripping into another body on the ground. It runs off, and as you get closer, you begin to see that body beginning to shake as it begins to rise back up. With your critical, you are able to lift that sewer manhole up, jump in, and close it just behind, just as you hear poof, poof, poof of whatever that thing is slamming into this barrier. It's quiet. Or at least all of the pandemonium happening above you is muffled. I would like you to do a knowledge roll to see how well you can navigate through the sewers.
There's a 9 with fear.
Okay. All right. You will return to you. Crucible. You turn the corner and find this giant bottleneck at the exit of this city. People are pushing into each other, they're falling down. And behind you, that group of 4 has now just turned into a group of 20. These monsters are rushing after you. They're grabbing people off the streets that are slowly running, and then those people are rising back up and joining. You have a giant mob of people in front of you that you need to get through. How do you want to do this?
I think, in a way, this is Crucible's terrain, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's done it countless times. Had guards spot them and have to get lost in a crowd quickly and quietly. So I think very intensely quickly, she gauges the momentum of the crowd and where there might be a weak spot and where the concentration is heavier, and she is going for pockets, weaving in and out of pockets everyone she can find, trying to maneuver their way through this minefield of people, frightened people.
Okay.
This is terrifying.
Please do. This would be, I will say this can either be an agility or a finesse roll. I'm leaning towards agility because you're trying to shoot gaps between large groupings of people.
Yeah.
But it could be persuaded to be a finesse roll, depending on what you would like to do.
I think I'm going to go agility because dodging falls under agility. And I think as people are slamming into each other in desperation, trying to escape, I think not only am I trying to weave through, but people are literally nearly falling on top of me as I rush. So it's also about getting through and not getting weighed down or hit or grabbed. So, please. Okay, that is very good. So it is with fear.
Okay.
But now that I know how to assess my rolls, it's even better.
Right, right.
So that is a 23 with fear.
Wow.
Yes.
Incredible. Okay. You are expert at this. You just did it a few hours ago. This is where you thrive. Being such a small little kid, you are able to maneuver through large crowds with ease. Nicholas, you see, was in front of you, but I am going to spend a fear point.
Don't you dare.
And you see that Nicholas slams into this larger group. You have a way to go forward, but Nicholas is behind you and stuck. You have a choice here.
I think she tries to help him.
Okay.
I don't think she'd turn on him like that.
For this, I would need a strength roll
Okay.
to see if you can pull them out from that crowd.
Okay. All right. We'll try.
Meanwhile, you're just hearing the sound of bone on bone as these things are crashing into this large crowd of people. You hear screams and flesh ripping and screeching of whatever these monsters are. It is a terrifying sight.
What a fun game we're playing. that is a, I think I add 0. That is a 10.
Okay. You reach out. 10 with...
Oh, 10 with hope. Sorry, 10 with hope.
With hope. You're able to reach and grab onto his hand. But just slowly, your grip fails. And you are pushed with the rest of this crowd. Nicholas is going to be somewhere in this crowd, and whether or not he makes it out is a question that will have to be answered later. Torin, you are trying to navigate through this maze of tunnels that lead through the city. You are lost. You don't know where you are. You thought it was a left and then a right, but you're even further away from where you thought you would be. You have two choices. You can either continue to bumble through the dark and hope that you find this place, or you can look through one of the manholes that is currently about 10 feet away from you and try to gain your bearings and see where you are. Either way, you will need to do a knowledge roll if you stay, and a instinct roll if you try to see where you are.
I think that I have enough adrenaline and worry and energy in my system that I believe I can look real quick. So I'm going to choose instinct.
I also would like to add that in these tunnels, you hear the echoes of screeches and yelling. Somewhere here, somewhere there is a group of people or whatever these things are. So if you turn the wrong way, you could lead yourself into a group of...
Fuck.
So, you are going to choose to make your way outside just to see if you can find where you are. So go ahead and do an instinct roll.
That is an 11 with hope.
11 with hope. Okay. You pop out of the manhole. The first time that you try to lift it, it gets slammed back down as somebody runs over. Makes this king sound as it slams back into its cover. You wait a moment. And then lift it back up. All the while, just below you, you hear echoing. You lift it up. You're near the gate, but it's still closed. But the other gate, you have a clear, visible picture. It is open with a bottleneck of people. You are both in the same city, trying to escape. You have the option of the sewer. You might be able to find your way back out now that you have gained your bearings, or that open exit. Which do you choose?
Oh, God. There... Jesus. Oh, I hate this. I hate this feeling. I think I have to stick with
surefire exit, or the possibility that you can find it without getting found first.
I think I have to stick with the sewer because that bottleneck is too dangerous.
Mm-hmm. You take one more moment to see this bottlenecking of people trying to escape. It's moving so slow. And you find why. On the opposite end, you see a force pushing back, as well as a force pushing in. These people are getting pinpointed, or pinned into this position. So now, at that, you know that the sewer is the best way. You come back down, and you hear the sounding of groans and screams and screeches getting louder and louder around you. You can do a knowledge check with advantage this time.
Okay. Come on. That is 18 with fear.
Okay. You know where you are. You know where you need to go. This was the wrong way. You remember that it was a left, and then a right. So you backtrack to where you were, take that first left, and then make that next right. And just in front of where that sewer is, you see a person pulling on a body that's on the ground, saying, "Come on, we need to go. It's dead. Let's go." That body's not moving. And this person sees you at the edge.
Wait, we're not one of the things. We're not one of the monsters. Okay? We just need to get out of the city. Okay? I know a way out.
Okay. Help me. He's not moving. I can't see if he's alive or not. Just help me, please.
I approach to help. I don't know what's going on, but I know that if somebody's in need and they found their way down here, then they must be some like us.
I'm going to use a fear point. Bannon is going to rush up to the body, lift the body up, and say, "I got him. Let's go. Just lead the way, Torin."
Okay. This way. And I immediately take charge and start leading the way.
You continue weaving through the tunnels until you see the light of the overarching fire lighting the exit of the sewer. Crucible. You come to the edge of this grouping of people, this pushing force keeping you moving forward. Nicholas and the others are nowhere in sight. And as you get closer and closer, the screams turn to monstrous screeches and growls as you begin to see up close these people with black veins on their face, these blood red and orange eyes, and this almost 1,000-yard stare that they are committing atrocities in front of you, these people, but there is nothing there. This is just a complete bloodlust. You see the person in front of you getting ripped open by one of the bites of this creature right into their trap. They take a bite out of them, and then it looks down to you. I will need you to do one final... Well, actually, let me ask you, what would you like to do?
So this is in front of me? So
You are
basically,
currently being pinned
we are being
into this position.
approached by these monsters from either side.
Correct, yeah. It seems like the people that had died on the outside of the town are now rising back up and completely taking over this grouping of people, as well as just behind you. So you are surrounded at the
And
moment.
this one in front of me is busy tearing into flesh.
There is one that is busy tearing into the person that you are just behind, and the force is still pushing you forward. You could weave through still, or you could take out your dagger. You could do anything. What would you like to do?
I think Crucible is so terrified right now that she is going to try to bob and weave away from this thing.
Okay.
If she
So then go ahead and do an agility roll.
Okay.
One last time.
Okay, that's 13 plus 2. 15 with
Okay.
fear.
15. You are able to pass, and as it tears into it, it looks at you, and you are able to just barely push through the open legs between both of them, getting to the other side. Just as it turns around and tries to grab onto you, you feel the hands grabbing onto your shirt, and then part of it ripping as you are able to just barely get out of its grip. You see others surrounding you are being attacked, and there is an open runway for you to just pass through. You take it?
I'm just trying to have faith that they'll find me.
You pass through, rushing out towards the open, where you see people are running every direction. But there's a forest nearby. And that seems to be where everyone has decided to run towards. You follow, hoping, praying that your friends will find you. Torin. You make it to the exit, and you see people are running every direction. As you come to the end, the person that you had seen, this younger boy that has a younger adult that seems to be like an older brother. He's standing at the end. Where do we go?
The forest. We can get to the trees. Maybe we can find some cover and find a spot to recuperate and figure out what our next moves are going to be. We just need to get away from the city.
As that happens, I'm going to spend a fear point. You begin to hear coming from the body that is on Bannon's shoulder. I'm going to make a bite attack against Bannon.
Oh god.
That is a 17 to hit, which definitely passes his evasion score. That is going to be 8 physical damage. And you just hear Bannon, ah! And you see him throw this body onto the ground.
What?
We need to go. And then you see the boy, wait, no. And you see his brother begin getting up. You see him twitching as if like a dead body that has those synaptic triggers. It's getting up. And the boy's, wait, no. Wait.
We have to go.
And he looks to his brother. I can't leave him. Bannon grabs you and begins running. We need to leave them if they're not going to come with us.
Okay. Are you okay?
Begin pushing. Yeah, I think it got me. It's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
You continue running. And you just hear the kids scream behind you. You don't look back. You enter into the forest. As the screams and the bells get quieter and quieter the more you run. Some, covered in the blood of her own, the woman continues rushing and leads each of you through the tunnels. She knows the direct route out. You are meant to not know. She leads you through the tunnels, and as you come to one of the crossroads, guards are there. And each of them stare at you and are confused. Somebody runs up. Please, you have to help us. People in the infirmary, something is not right. I think we need to kill them. And the guards just look. Yes, of course. And calls out to one of the other tunnels. You see 4 of these guards rushing past you to get to the infirmary. She just turns around. Follow me. This is the best way out of here. You begin rushing. Can each of you please... We're going to do a group roll here. So, the way that this works, we're going to pick a leader. Each of you are going to roll agility. If you succeed, that adds 1 to the leader's roll, final result. If you fail, that minuses 1 from the leader's roll. So, who would you like to elect to be the leader of this roll?
Some.
Yes. And then
okay, that makes sense.
And I'll spend a hope to use one of my experience. And I'm just holding on tightly to Ilora's hand. And it's like, don't worry, just follow me. It's all right, we got this. And that will be my sister's keeper as my experience to add a +2 to my roll.
Love that. Okay. So, please roll agility.
I believe. Oh, I got the hope right back.
That's not great.
Okay.
Got an 8 plus, or an 8 with hope.
Okay.
I got a 21 with fear.
Okay.
Did you just put zombies down in here with us?
Hey, look, I'm trying here.
The difficulty was 18. +1 for the 21, -1 for the 8, which means it's a flat roll. Somebody has a +1 and rolled a 17 on the die. So, you rush through the tunnels. Ilora, you trip for just a second, but Roila, you're extremely strong anyways, and you're able to bring her back up and continue following Some through the tunnels. After finally coming down the final tunnel, you see a bright light at the end of it. You rush forward, and a strong wind picks up, brushing up the dust before the blinding light of the sun warms your skin. Something you haven't seen for a while. Somei can't. Just before falling to the ground.
You alright?
Sorry?
Don't touch me. She reveals a bite on her arm. I'll head back inside.
No. There's gotta be another way. There's another way. He still begins to like go through his backpack and begins to pull out some of the rope to try to make a tourniquet. Maybe it doesn't spread that far. Maybe it doesn't spread that far. We just have to
Give me your arm! And she's going to drop to her knees and she's going to attempt to do the mending again. But this time directly on the bite and, immediately after. Hopefully that changes something. She's just panicking. And as she's shaking, her hands like fully, you can't even see her arm underneath my hands because they're so large. And I'm going to start whispering incessantly. You can hear things like soul and light and things like that, but for the most part, it's just as she attempts to heal this. I will take my 2 hope off to do it.
Okay. You see the wounds begin to close. You're unable to see the skin because of all the blood, but as you begin wiping away, just to make sure, you see spidering black veins still there. They're only about an inch, but they're there. You and Somei realize this at the same time, as she just drops her arm. I can't.
No. It's fine. It's okay.
There has to be another way. That has to be another way.
I can heal now. I healed you. It's okay.
We can't be sure. We'll find you. I will find you.
You should come with us,
please. I can't risk it. If something happens to you, I will find you. And then she takes her hand just next to you, Roila. I will find you. Both of you.
Love you.
Love you. Okay, go. If you head that direction, a few days away, there's a town. Cover up your eyes. Let no one see you. We should be able to help.
Hey. I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna hug her very tightly.
You hug her tight. Go.
Gonna take off
You begin
running.
to leave. As Somei begins to walk back towards the entryway, she turns back just to watch you leave. Is anybody looking? Are you still waiting to see her go through that threshold?
I think I take one last look back as she begins to leave out of my range and her flower crown begins to disappear.
She just turns to you. Before she can get that word out, you see this long short sword pierce through her. She looks down. and falls to the ground. As she falls, you see Asher, the leader of your community, pulling the sword and wiping it. She conspired against the New Age.
What have you done?
You both know what would happen if you tried to leave. You know the penalty for going against the family. If you keep going, she will not be the last. Remember your duty. Remember the promise that you hold for the future of this world. Return now, and no one else has to die.
Roila has this like emptiness. Like he can't even hear anything that's being said. All like out of just his body moving out of instinct, he just claps his gauntlets together. And you see this massive blade that's about 4.5 feet long, and then another blade that's about 5 feet long appear in his hands. And then he combines them together into one larger greatsword and just keeps saying, "What have you done? What have you done? What have you
put
done?
my hands
What have you done?"
on his shoulders, and I step directly in front of him so that he can't. Well, we're probably not eye to eye, but like mostly. I look at you and I go, "Don't. She was infected. Put it away."
He's gonna open a telepathic link with you. I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them.
Very calmly, she goes, "Be that as it may. We can't do that till we know what we're dealing with. And Some deserves a burial."
Like as his rage is building, like the temperature is dropping, and just shards of ice are forming all along his blade.
You can see her breath in this moment as she's talking to you in your mind. So it's just her breathing, but there's like the chill is starting to encase them both, and she's not moving. Both hands on your shoulders, making sure you're not about to kill the leader of our entire community.
I think he just keeps stepping forward and like scraping the blade along the ground.
And I begin to push. I begin to actually leverage my weight and height against you to get you to stop.
As this is happening, you see she just looks to you. I know a fight that I can't win. I'll let you decide. And she begins walking back into the cave.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Leaving Some's body at the mouth.
I can't leave her like this.
I think he goes over to Some's body. Does she have like a scarf or anything like that?
Yeah.
I think he would take that and then wear it. Even though it's stained with blood.
You take it, and getting this close to her face, it's almost like her eyes are looking at you. But she's gone.
And has the infection stopped? Since it seems like she died before whatever took hold could keep going? Or is the mark still
sure.
spreading? How many infected are inside?
How large was the hunting group that came back infected?
There was about 8 people.
Yeah, I convey that, and then I'm like, but who knows how many are left after the guards went in after them.
And there are guards like right by the door, right?
No.
No
Asher
one's
came
out
alone.
there. Okay. I think he's going to. He has the 50 feet of rope, so I think he's going to wrap the hands and the legs and like kind of bind the body, just in case she gets back up, so she can't move. And then, is Asher still nearby?
Asher had walked back into the cave, knowing that you were coming after her in an aggressive manner. She knew that she couldn't win the fight.
I think he just gets back up holding his buster sword and just keeps dragging it on the ground, just letting it scrape the ground. And he just goes, well, then I have 8 people to kill instead. Here's
You
to
just
your
seem
future.
Don't say that. But
And he just keeps walking and just dragging the blade to go in to help finish off the other infected.
and Ilora will stay, and she'll begin to care for and bury Some.
Roila, you enter back into the cave. The infected seem to have been dispatched. There were only 4 that had gotten up at the time, but the others were taken care of before they became an issue. All that's left is this bloodied battlefield and the memory of Some. Ilora, as you begin to dig the grave, you see Some's body beginning to twitch.
I think she's been crying as she's digging and has been wondering why this all happened today. You've been sick for a week. Why is it the day that she was supposed to leave her divine right and duty? And she has this deep realization as she sees Some's body begin to twitch, and she's alone, left to deal with the mess that her brother is determined to make. We'll have to clean up those bodies that he's about to drop in there as well. And is now officially the only person who can take over doing what Some was doing in the community. I think she reaches into her backpack and grabs the sacrificial dagger that she had swiped from the shrine. And she goes over to Some, who is tied up, so I think she'll put a hand that should be gentle, like to her is gentle, on her head, but because of the size and the strength, she just kind of like presses her head into the ground. And with tears falling from her face, she'll say, "May the light of soul guide your way to the sun." And she'll carve the head off to make sure that the body stops moving at that point, and then continue to bury her and lay flowers at her grave.
The body indeed stops. You finish this grave and leave flowers here just below this white blossom petaled cherry tree that in a bit of wind brings some of them down. The night passes. Crucible. You are reunited with only a third of the group that you left with. Nicholas is one of them. You all search for a safe area that you can calm and collect yourself. What does this place look like?
I think it's just, you know, none of us are really all that familiar with terrain, you know, outside of the city. Like that's our hub. So I think, and it is in the nighttime, right? It's the evening at this point.
No, this would be the next day. This would be like
next day.
Mhm.
Okay,
The sun has come up. You can see very clearly. You are in at least a safe location that you think away from everything else.
I think their main priority, just because they're in an unfamiliar place, is, you know, the trees are so dense and winding, and one could get lost in what's hiding in that bush. And all of these thoughts are racing through their heads. So they try to find just the simplest clearing where they can actually find more clarity and be with each other, and ideally by a water source, but they're not expert rangers by any means of the imagination. They don't know how to, you know, locate sources of water unless it's just by luck. So it's just some place with enough space to build a fire that they won't burn down the forest.
I would say go ahead and do a instinct roll.
Okay.
To see how well you can navigate through the forest and find a safe location.
Okay. Instinct. Where is that? That's a 9 with hope.
9 with hope. Okay. You're able to find a decent place. There is a small stream that passes by. But there's blood in the water. It runs red. A grim reminder of what just happened. And it leaves you with thinking that you might not be able to drink from it unless you go further up the street. But for now, you have a safe location with friends that you have made it out with. A day goes by, and then another, and the food that you had brought quickly begins to run. Nicholas looks to you and says, "You and I are the oldest here, so You're better with the dagger than I am.
I could do it. I've got this. I'll be I'll go about that way a bit, and if I'm not back in 10 minutes, call the guards. I'll be. That's not funny. I'm sorry. I'll be.
It's right.
I'll be right back.
Just be careful.
I always am.
You venture out to try and find some sort of food for your friends. Go ahead and do an instinct roll.
That is a 12 with fear.
12 with fear. Okay. You find a deer that is currently drinking from the bloody water. It's doesn't seem to be paying attention to you, so if you want to try and take this opportunity, go ahead and do an attack.
I think as they're approaching this deer, I think as they're approaching this deer, their eyes are just welled up with tears, because I think this may be the first time Crucible has ever had to attempt to kill something. Okay, so this is with my dagger, which I add. Okay. That is a 11 with hope. I add the plus one finesse from the dagger, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that is an 11 with hope.
Okay. You are able to bring this deer down. This is your first kill, but you know that this is necessary. This is what you have to do to survive.
I think, though, as it goes down, I think because she wants to seem strong for the sake of her friends when she heads back to the clearing. So I think she takes a couple moments to herself, and she's just kind of cradling this deer, saying, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And
As you are there, I am spending a fear. You begin to hear a low growl. Different from the ones that you had heard in the city, but a growl nonetheless. You look to the source, and you see this crouched giant wolf looking directly at you.
hello.
You can see it moves with a limp.
Oh, you hurt. Oh, what's the wound look like? Was he attacked by something, or? It's okay, baby. Calm down. It's big talk. Wait.
Go ahead and do a presence roll.
No, I'm not good at that. We'll see how it goes. That went well, though. That was a 16 with hope.
Ooh, let's go. Okay,
No.
okay. You see it begin to limp towards you. Its front paw lifted.
It's okay. It's all right. We got. I'm looking at this massive deer in front of us and thinking about how our numbers are so much smaller now. And surely we can spare something for a good dog. If I offer something, does he take it?
Oh yeah, no. With a 16 hope, absolutely. This wolf walks up and, keeping an eye on you,
Good boy.
just takes a bite.
Yes.
You see the paw that's lifted has a slash mark just above the paw. But it just lays down and just keeps eyes on you.
I think I take my dagger and carve off like a shred of my tunic and very slowly and gingerly approach with my hands up and then slowly sending all of the good signals that I am non-threatening. I'm here to help you. I offered you food. And trying to bandage this paw.
I will say, since you have provided food, since you already passed the first one, go ahead and do another presence roll with advantage. So roll a d6 in addition.
Okay. Okay. And another d6. That's 12. 17. With fear.
Okay. With fear. Okay. You approach, and you see it stops eating, and then you see it shows its teeth.
Okay.
But as you slowly get closer and closer, it brings its head down, showing that it's watching carefully. You lift the paw, and a small growl happens, but
It's
you're able to
Good boy.
wrap the wound. It seems that this wolf has gained your trust and trusts you. We move back to Torin. What would Torin be looking for in terms of shelter? You've entered into the forest. You are searching for a place to stay. All the while, your fiancé, Bannon, just continues to hold this wound on his back.
I imagine that I'm looking for some sort of clearing amongst a thick group of trees somewhere where it's difficult to peer into.
How long do you travel into the forest in order to find that?
Suppose a couple of hours, maybe.
Okay. The sounds of the bells and the screams behind you begin to go and fade as the sounds of the forest begin to overtake them. Animal sounds, cracking of twigs, sounds of distant streams. Go ahead and do a instinct roll.
I would like to spend a hope to use the experience keep moving forward if possible.
Okay.
So that would be 11 with fear.
Okay. Using that experience, you find a place that looks like it might be a good spot, but something doesn't feel right. It's quiet around this area, and no, this isn't it. And that's when you look up to a tree and you find a large nest high up in this tree. This is a predator home. So you know that you need to keep moving. As much as Bannon gets down onto the ground, he just looks at you.
Hey, it's okay. We're gonna find another spot. It's okay. We can find it. We just need to push just a little bit more. Okay.
You continue moving until you find a more hidden area behind bushes. Small stream is a little further out, but it's close enough. You finally set up camp here. He, in pain, sits down.
I tear off a piece of my robes, and I just sort of kneel next to him. Can I see it? Can I try and clean it up?
Yeah. He lifts his shirt, and as clear as day, you find teeth marks in his back. That fucker bit me.
Jesus. Hold on. I'm gonna just press down just to try to soak up any blood and keep pressure on there.
It's okay. It'll heal up. We'll be fine.
I know. I just...
Had run-ins with those motherfuckers before. I just never seen it like that.
You have?
Zombies, yeah. Of course. I just... People... Did you see? People are just getting up. They're...
I know. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay. I think we just need to get some rest.
Yeah, I think it's just all kind of catching up to me right now. Okay.
He grabs your head. We're okay. Piece of me is gone, but I'll live.
You got more trap to go around. It's fine.
Yeah. What, you don't think it makes it look bad? You think we're good?
It's gonna make for a fun story.
Just get some rest. I think it's safe that we take turns keeping up.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind.
I can start. I can take the first.
Okay.
Get some rest.
Bannon rests. And it comes to the time where you're supposed to switch. Do you?
No.
The rest of the night goes. Nothing happens. And you do hear every so often distant sound of a scream, followed by silence. Morning comes, and Bannon is still knocked out. You catch a sight of the wound, and there are black veins that are spreading from it. Very small, about an inch.
We have to get to a town. We have to find. This looks like he's getting infected. To get him up. Okay, the next town was northeast. It was a couple days' travel on the trail, but I think I'll gently sort of run my hand over his cheek and just sort of whisper, honey, we have to get up.
He blinks the sun. You son of a bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck.
We gotta get you to a medic or a healer. It looks like it's infected with something, so we need to find some sort of medicine to clear it up. We just need to get to the next town. Okay? We just need to get to the next town.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
Okay.
can you...
Yeah, He slowly, but he's able to get back up.
I'll help him. I know. Just one step at a time. We just gotta keep moving forward, right?
Yeah. A day goes. And then another. And then another. You continue to make your way through the forest. And each day that goes by, you can see what strength was there in Bannon is slowly fading. He is able to walk normally. Then he's only able to walk at half pace. Then he's almost crawling at the speed that he's at. I'm sorry. I can't.
We just have a little bit to go. It's okay. It's right over the ridge, and we can get to the town, and we can get
Torin.
you.
I can't do it. And there's no way you're gonna let me. Let's just camp here. Hopefully somebody comes here.
Okay. Okay. I'll get everything ready. I'll help him to just like the trunk of a tree. And just do my best to set up camp as best I can.
As you're setting up, you hear the labored breathing. You look over towards Bannon, who has his eyes closed. You can see those veins, those black veins that were spidering away from the bite, are now crawling up the neck and are getting dangerously close to the face. Or to the eyes.
I'll, the moment I see his eyes close, I just, Bannon, honey, Bannon. You just stay awake, okay? I need you to stay awake with just a little bit longer, okay? Somebody's gonna come through.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Love. I don't know how much longer I have. If I become one of them, if this is what's happening.
We don't know that. We don't know that. Okay.
Torin, if I become one of them, I can't stay like that. You can't let that happen. You understand?
What are you saying right now?
If I don't wake up as me, if I wake up as one of them, you need to end it. I don't want to be walking around like them. I don't want to attack you. I don't want to attack anyone. So you have to promise me, if that happens, you will put an end to it.
You can't make a promise that.
You just see him slip into unconsciousness.
I slap his cheeks to try to wake him.
You can see his eyes are growing redder.
Okay. 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 What do you...
He grabs your head. You stay the fuck alive. You don't give up. Not because of me. Not because of anyone. You keep going. Because if there's anyone that could do something about this, it's you. I'm just gonna sleep. Just gonna sleep.
I press my forehead against his as he drifts off. And I love you, Bitten.
The night comes. He doesn't awaken. Do you sleep next to him?
Yeah. But I don't sleep. I just lay in this space for just a little longer. Just a little longer. I keep telling myself just a little bit longer. Try to soak up what time I have.
The cracks of the fireplace in front of you is every so often a reminder of the fire that burned in the city. The roaring fire seems lonely without the screams of the people. But you are able to find peace. Just before you feel a twitch. Crucible. You quickly become the main hunter of the group. A few
Of course
days
I am.
pass,
Very
and
skilled.
especially with the fact that you have a friendly direwolf that follows you around.
His name's
Because
Charlie.
with you, Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
I named him after a grocer in town. He used to pretend to look the other way when I would steal from him, but he just left extra stuff out for me, and I would just take it and pretend I was stealing it from him.
We love Charlie.
We love Charlie. Rest in peace, Charlie.
Everyone is amazed with the new companion that you found. And Charlie follows you everywhere, because with you, there's promise of food. You go out on a hunting trip to find enough food for the 5 of you. However, you do hear a scream back at camp.
I run.
You run. Are you going to approach quietly or guns blazing?
Well, I will say, no, I am going to approach quietly, just in
Okay.
case if my friends are currently under attack, I might be able to get the jump on them. And I get advantage for this because
Right, yeah.
I'm wildborn, so I have the Lightfoot ability.
Amazing. Okay, so please do a finesse roll with advantage.
And I add a d6, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that is 15 with fear. And then that's 16 with fear. And then plus 6. That's 20 with fear.
Okay. You rush through the forest until you know that the camp is just ahead. So you slow just enough to where you can crest around a tree to see what's happening. There, you find 2 adults. One of them has a sword in their hand. The other has a short bow. Both of them are pointed towards the rest of your group. The one with the sword just looks.
No, we don't have to make this anything more than it needs to be. Just hand over all the food that you have, and we'll be on our way. Isn't that right?
Here. Yeah. That's it.
So, what'll it be?
You see Nicholas just nodding to the rest of them as they pull a leafy blanket from the most recent game that you had acquired. And then they step back. What do you do?
It took us so long to find what we have. And it's not even that much. I think even in the short while I have made Charlie as a companion, I kind of glance over with like a knowing look and like a gesture towards the man with the sword, and I set my sights on the man with the bow, and we both launch forward.
Amazing. Okay, the first combat So,
I'm gonna be sick.
since you were so high on that finesse roll, you will be able to act first.
Okay.
We can spend 3 hope in order to do a tag team, which would mean that, I guess it would be more focused on one attack. Okay, so we'll just say that both of you are attacking at the same time. I would like you to do your dagger attack towards the person with the short bow.
Okay. Okay. Let's do this. I'm so scared. Please be good. That's an 11 with fear.
Okay. Let me open up the...
But I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know, so... What would it have done for me if instead of... You know where I'm going with this, you're pointing at me. Wait, what do you...
You were also hidden, I forgot to say.
Yes. Okay.
Condition hidden means that you have advantage on
Oh.
Attacks against people that can't see you.
Oh.
So you would have advantage on this.
Okay, so I'll add a d6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That
that.
makes it a 15.
Okay, yeah. 12 was what you needed, so that wouldn't have hit otherwise, but
Okay.
thankfully you were able to do it. What was your question?
I was going to ask about my retracting claws, but the advantage has made me feel more comfortable with this path.
Yeah.
So
No, you already have
gonna
advantage
lean
on that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage because you hit.
And my damage, I roll, a d8. Okay. D8, D8, D8. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. There you are. Okay. That's a 7.
Okay.
It's a 7.
Okay. I am going to spend a fear. So as you stab into this person with the longbow, you feel their body go limp, and with that, a release of the arrow. And it's an 18. 17 on the die. It's 12 damage. You stab into him. And you feel... and completely collapse. But when you look up, you see an arrow through Nicholas's torso. And the other person turns around, the person with the sword turns around, and that's immediately when Charlie jumps onto him. That is a natural 20. All right, we are going to roll, I'd say 2d6. Okay. 14 damage. As this person is going to rush towards you and stab into you, immediately gets pummeled by Charlie, ripping out the throat and leaving them there as they just... before finally dying. The rest of the kids look over. Oh no. Charlie falls.
Nicholas.
Nicholas falls.
Nicholas. I'm sorry. Nicholas.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And my hands are just shaking over where the arrow appears. I'm so sorry.
Sybil.
Yeah.
You're in charge now. Okay?
That's not funny. That's a bad joke, Nicholas.
You're in charge.
I am not. You are.
A few moments pass. You gather with the rest of the group to find a proper spot to bury your friend. A leaf blanket is covering him. You find a beautiful place where a small stream splits around this small island in between it. A nice ray of light lands on it. And you're able to bury Nicholas there. Is there anything that Crucible would say at this time?
Nicholas was one of my best friends. And he was always, always good to all of us. And so, we have to keep being good to each other, alright? I know it's scary. And we've been through a lot. But we have to look out for each other. That's the most important thing. It's what Nicholas would have wanted. And if you ever forget him, I'll beat you up.
We can't forget him. Can't forget him.
He's a good friend. We're gonna be strong for him now. We're gonna keep looking out for each other. Because that's what Nicholas would have wanted to. Alright? Yeah. Alright, say it. Say you will.
Yeah.
Say it.
All of the kids.
I'm sorry, come here. And she just kind of gestures in for them all to embrace.
Everyone comes together. And this massive direwolf, Charlie, senses the tension and brings himself in to give you a nice, cozy blanket. You return to camp with the rest of them, always having that small glade within sight. Torin. You feel that twitch. Followed by the sound of labored breathing.
I slowly get up to kneel next to him and just look.
The transformation is very nearly complete. You can see that the black veins have completely covered his face. His eyes are this orange red with like giant pupils. You can see his teeth have this black ichor coming down from the gums. And he just looks up to you in this blank stare. Before he reaches his hand up to your face. And then slowly tries to grab you.
I steel myself.
Closer.
If there's one
Closer.
thing that I can do, put my hand against his head. And I grit my teeth as I let loose some of the arcane energy in the rune in my palm. Try to make it quick. I try to make it painless. And I take his hand into mine. Just hold it when I do.
A quick flash. And you feel the hand go limp. He falls back, his head looking up to the sky. His eyes staring off as if maybe he can escape. But he lays there motionless.
I hold on to his hand for just a few more minutes. And the hand that's on the side of his head just caresses his cheek. This is when I would lay with him and fall asleep. And cry myself to sleep.
Sleep is hard. But you awaken. The evening is starting to set in. Is there anything you would like to do?
I know I'm not strong enough to dig a grave. But what I do is I kiss his forehead. And I position him to be seated against the tree, looking up at those stars again. I'm going to take his ring. And put it in my pocket. And I will say, I hope you found peace. And I promise I'm going to keep going, figure this out. I promise. I love you so much. And I'm going to kiss his lips. and I will steel myself enough to stand. And I start walking. I start walking away.
Crucible. Camp is different.
Yeah.
You never venture far, just in case something else happens. But nothing seems to happen. A few days go by until you hear a small rustling of leaves nearby. You
Daggers
ready
out.
yourself,
Yes.
dagger out,
Yep.
and you see an Enferris. Kujo, I don't think we properly described what Torin looks like, but what does Crucible see?
Crucible will see an Enferris with warm, if slightly grayed, like caramel skin, with amber eyes, long, sort of swept back black hair, with two horns that extend from the temples to a graceful point back.
Mm-hmm.
And he is wearing robes that look torn and tattered. And he's got a like a side satchel. Just some small supplies, nothing major. But they look like tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
There are these lines of runes that go from the top of his skull across his eyes, a line that extends crossing his mouth onto his neck, and larger runes that are visible on his hands. And he is just trudging.
What do you want? We don't have anything. We don't.
Oh, wait, at least I didn't know that anybody was here. I'm sorry.
What do you want? What are you doing here?
I'm just trying to get to the next town. Just trying to make my way through. I don't mean any trouble.
What town? There's another town. Where?
It's another couple days in that direction.
What is your body language right now? Like, what is Sybil reading from you?
Grief, but definitely nonviolence.
Okay. I think more so she's going to resonate with the grief in you, having recently suffered it themselves.
Even, especially with where Torin stands, your eyes naturally go to that glade where Nicholas lies.
Yeah. Right. Why are you trying to get to this town? Does it have anything special or anything like that?
I don't know. Just needed to get away from the city. And that was the first thought that I had.
That's where you came from back there?
Yeah. Did you?
Us too, yeah. Yeah.
You okay?
No. I'm not. You know this town's safe. Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't know. I just needed to get somewhere that I thought would be.
Okay. Oh,
Do you need help? Do you need help?
yeah.
It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you.
And I think as she tears up a little bit more, I think gently with the more heaving breaths de-escalating, I think naturally her dagger arm starts to drop and is willing to listen to this person.
I just keep my hands up.
What's your name?
I'm Torin.
Torin. I'm Crucible, and Jonny. How many are left of my number?
There are 3, 4 including you.
Okay, and that's Sam, and that's Jamie, and that's Claire. She's the one hiding in the bush in the back. Okay, you can come out.
She comes out, but still hides behind Crucible. And you also see what was so quiet around you. You see this giant direwolf come around you from where it was behind you before, very silently walking around, seeing how this played out.
Okay, Charlie. This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
He's a good boy. He likes. You can give him scritches if you want behind the ears. That's his favorite.
Can
Behind
I?
the chin. Yeah,
Sure.
you can, Charlie. Charlie, can he give you scritches? Is that all right?
He just walks up to you,
Oh,
lowers his
okay.
head.
He's a good
You
boy.
see his leg starts kicking.
Okay.
See, he's good.
Hi. Oh my God, you're huge. It's nice to meet you all.
He's been looking out for us too, like Nicholas did. And I think, as she says that, you'll probably see her gently gesture with a hand, and then I think you can probably connect the dots about maybe what happened here.
Nicholas seems like he was a good guy.
He was the best. The best.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for you too. I can see it on your face.
I think Nicholas and Bannon would have gotten along.
Bannon. It's a strong name, Bannon, isn't it? It's a strong name.
Yeah. He was the strongest person I've ever met.
I believe it. So we'll go together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you need.
Are you hungry? We don't have a lot. We have something.
I'm okay for now. I'll figure it out. We can figure this out. We can figure this out together, okay? We can find food.
Okay.
Find maybe a stream or something nearby.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
So, a group of you continue to travel towards a nearby city. Trust is gained, but nevertheless, the rest of this story is still to be told. You take a few moments until you finally return back. Roila, what have you done knowing that even You're out. Your way of coping with this anger is gone.
I think the first thing anybody sees is just like the hallway has been obliterated, and so is the infirmary with massive spikes of ice. Every single spell that he knows currently, he casted just destroying whatever was in his sight. So there's pieces of corpses everywhere and medical equipment, beds split in half, and just a hallway that is covered in massive shards of ice. And then if you're able to make it past all of that, it's just him back in the training room, practicing on a dummy again, reciting his tenets and practicing his spells.
Ilora, do you seek Roila out?
I do. Knowing that he doesn't want to be sought out, I immediately go look for my brother after I have washed my hands of the dirt of Some's grave. If you're reading, I'm going to stand in the doorway and say, "So speak to me, please."
I think he's gotten to the point of exhaustion where he's punching the wall, but his fists are just blood, and his bones are showing from his knuckles. And with the way he reads, his spell books are the malice beads, and their inscriptions are written on them. So he's just shuffling through them and cycling through the beads while just tapping on the wall, just hitting the wall. She turned, didn't she?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Doesn't. Not at all.
He just kind of collapses at that point against the wall and just slowly just slides down.
I think Ilora moves over to start making tea. She's going to do that fairly silently. She knows how he likes to take his tea, and we'll just bring them each over a cup, and we'll just kind of slide down and sit next to him and set it on the floor next to him as she kind of stirs her own and goes, "Something terrible is happening."
No.
"Can I ask you a question? And you have to tell me honestly the answer, like when we were little."
Yeah.
"I believe you. You look too tired to lie." "Do you think this is my fault?"
I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really care. If I had been faster, I could have saved both of you. But I wasn't. And my priority is always you. And I keep flashing back in my mind, what if I put the armor on her instead? Maybe Somei would still be here. What if I grappled her out and then I tried to get to you? It doesn't make a difference. So, it doesn't matter what caused it. Because she's gone. So, It doesn't matter. It has nothing matters. It doesn't. All that matters is I don't know. I don't know. I just know there's work to be done. So,
Yes. Of course. There's a few salves under the cupboard for when you're ready for your knuckles to stop bleeding. I'm late for prayer. There are many people grieving today, as I'm sure there will be many more grieving in the coming days. I'm sorry, Roila, that I could not be the savior I was foretold to be. She'll get up, and she'll take her tea with her. His will stay by him, and I think for the very first time in her entire life in this very sheltered community, she feels very much like a 17-year-old girl and not at all like the chosen one of a deity, when absolutely everything is out of her control and it's somehow still her fault. And she will realize with entire certainty that if she is not the cure, then she has to find it. And she will go to prayer.
A terrible, tragic event happens in this sheltered community. Losing everything. The ones we love. The chance at a free life. And now a deadly infection that even Ilora can't stop. Each of you sit with this in your own way, pondering how you could have done things differently. But in the end, tomorrow comes. But for now, we end this story here, looking to the future. 20 years, in fact. Where the world is at that point, well, we'll just have to find out. Thank you all so much for being here. We are going to be doing a live stream with every single person in our cast on May 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific. I am beyond excited to bring everybody at the table because, oh my gosh, this was incredible. So, we will see you all next Tuesday, and make sure to pick up a copy of Daggerheart because, you know, it's kind of cool. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. We will see you next week.